Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's Outdoor Guy 365 coming at you with another great video. Today I have a rod review, a fishing rod review that is, and maybe you guys can tell me what rods for fishing you use. Maybe you use loomis, St. Croix, Fenwick, Duckett, maybe some other brand that I haven't heard of. I know a lot of people say good things about Dobyns rods. I'm not too familiar with maybe a few rod brands that are out there, but I will tell you that I am a hardcore St. Croix rod using enthusiast, and this is a St. Croix Triumph. That's what the TR means. The S there on the label stands for spinning. 70 means it's a 7-foot. MF means it's medium power. F means it's fast action. And the number 2 means that it is a 2-piece rod. And you know, I can't really be blamed for buying a 2-piece rod after I tell you what I paid for this thing. So if I get a little bit closer here, you could probably see that it is a 7-foot fast action medium power rod. It is the SC2 graphite that's in there, and being a medium power rod, it takes 6 to 12 pound line, and lures that are made for this rod more comfortably to be thrown are anywhere between 1/4 ounce to 5/8 ounce. So not a small range by any means of what you can throw on this rod. Like I said, this is a 7-foot medium fast action 2-piece rod. This has, as you can see, just the standard black oxide guides that are not the greatest, not the most expensive guides from St. Croix, but they do get the job done. They're not titanium or Fuji alkanite guides like some of my other rods have, but this was the point where I basically started with St. Croix rods. And see, there's the junction there for designating that it's a 2-piece, but this rod is where I started my dive into St. Croix and their entire rod line that basically got me addicted. Like I said, what rods do you guys use? I prefer a 7-foot medium fast action rod or medium heavy 7-foot fast action rod for mostly bass fishing. I do fish in places where they have walleye, muskie, and pike. That's why I won't go any lighter than a medium power rod. Most of the time I'm fishing medium heavy or heavy rods because I'm also punching through weeds. I do need to get a bait caster, and I'm looking to get either a Bass X or probably a Mojo Bass, most likely Bass X, because they're a little bit cheaper and they have about the same type of components on it. And to me, using a bait casting rod isn't going to be terrible. As you can see, there is some good play in the tip of the rod. Grass is a little hard to see, but not terrible. It has good parabolic bend to it. Finish is really nice. They put the slow coat cure on it that basically helps it keep its composure together on the inside. They do a really great job. This cork is very nice. It hasn't broken or become too brittle. There are a few little places right there at the end of the rod section right after the reel seat that the cork is kind of chipping a little bit. I'm not sure if St. Croix will take care of it, but I'm sure that with their fabulous, outstanding customer service that they will. I also picked up this rod with this Fluger. Yes, I got the rod with the reel. It is a Fluger President, and this is an old Fluger President. As you can see, it's a 6735 series. It does have the anti-reverse switch, 10 bearings, and yards of nylon that you could put on there. 6-pound line at 185, 8-pound nylon for 145, or 10-pound nylon for 120 yards. And those are all pretty good. I have 10-pound right now on there. Berkeley and Trilene XL clear monofilament nylon, so not bad. This thing's pretty old. It's been banged around. The gear ratio is 5.2 to 1. I can't really get in there to see it all that well, and I'm trying to rotate it around so that way maybe somebody could see it, but it's kind of hard with the lighting. But yes, it's a 5.2 to 1 gear ratio, so it's a slow retrieve reel, not like, it's almost like one of those big bait casters that you see for musky fishing and things like that, that are big and round by, say, Abu Garcia, or Shimano, like the Shimano Calcutta, or can't think of any other big bait casting reels right now. So, and the rest of the handle, as I come down the rod, the cork is really nice. It's got the sticker on it that says it was made in Mexico, because it's the cheaper end of the line of the St. Croix that are not made in USA. Typically what's made in Mexico are the Triumphs, the Bass X's, the Mojo Bass, anything that I believe is below the Premier, the Victory rods, the Premier rods, Avids, Legend Series, and up, all made in Park Falls, USA. But this one was made in Mexico. No problems with it whatsoever. With this setup, it is fairly heavy compared to the other two rods that I have. I do have an Avid, which is really great, and then I even have a couple of steps above that in the Legend Elite, and I'm gonna do a video on that as well. But this is just a really nice overall rod from St. Croix, and no issues. None of the eyes are bent. You can just look down it and see how just everything lines up real nice. If you were to throw a line out there, everything's really nice and lined up. But one thing to note, St. Croix does engineer their rods to be have more power than other rod manufacturers. Maybe some of you have heard about that, or may not have heard about that, and maybe you had wondered about that if you own a St. Croix. But I don't really take this one out much anymore, only if I'm going out with a friend who doesn't know how to fish, or if I'm going to, say, a fishing derby or something else like that. If you're in the market for a new rod, this is probably a really good starting point for somebody. These are anywhere between, I think, $89 and $119, depending on what model you get. I think the rods go from 5'6" to 9 feet. They also have a saltwater line as well with St. Croix. St. Croix makes basically whatever they make in freshwater, they have something similar to it in saltwater for the most part. So let me know what rods you run, or you use, or troll with, or whatever models, makes you have, or what you prefer, and let me know, because I really like St. Croix, or maybe I should try something new and give that a try instead of just keeping up with what I got here. So if you have any questions or comments, please leave them for me. I'll try to interact with as many of you as I can. But yeah, it's getting close to the end of the fishing season. It is early November 2021, and I'm gonna probably go out because Sunday, Monday is somewhere in there is gonna be close to 70 here. So that'll probably be the last time that I can get out. Oh, by the way, I picked this up for 15 bucks with the reel and the rod at an Easy Pawn shop location here near me. Yes, I picked it up for $14.99 plus tax. So I just jumped all over it when I saw it, and that's how I got my start with St. Croix. All right, if you're thinking about buying it, I would. It's a great starting entry-level rod, especially if you have kids or something that you're trying to get into fishing and you want to buy nicer stuff so you're not rebuying cheap junk all the time. So anyways, this has been Outdoor Guy 365 with another great video. All right, YouTube, take care. Bye-bye.